And here we go. We're live.
Hello and welcome to our third lunch panel. These are so much fun. I got a pretty cool guest here today, right? Should we clap so some more people will come? Yeah. I will fix this here.
You'll fix it?
Yes.
You know, Sarah, I knew you were a good addition to what we were doing. Hey, nutraMetrix is something else. So many great things happening over the last 15 years, but really it seems like it's been supercharged over the last 36 months. And every training, every class that comes out is getting better and better, more efficient. And I can only say this, talking to the challenge winners, realizing that meeting the health professionals that are starting to recognize the benefits from integrating our products and our programs, the bundles that have come out that are just fantastic. Folks, if you haven't gone through those nutritional bundles, they're so good. I am in love with the Gene Snip program.
You on a conference call the other day, you said you guys are doing it. You're actually making it happen. Sales are going through the roof of these.
They are, and I just want to let you know of the 22 obesity genes, I have 16. So at any time I could explode and go to the next level. But it's nice to know that. And when we start talking about everything that we do and what you've done, some of the innovations that keep happening, but I want to recognize you because you've been so instrumental in simplifying tools and bringing them together. And I will say this, nothing but support and kudos from the entire executive team.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. It starts with the pace of a good leader, for sure. And duplication is key. Keeping it simple is the only way that we can make this, because I often say it's a part-time of a part-time business. We're all really going towards implementing shopping annuity. We're going towards building our own franchise. And when we choose a university major, it's not 100% of what we do in our 10 to 15 hours a week. And so a lot of people will say, I don't have time. But it's not that you don't have time, you just don't know what to prioritize.
You know, you are so right. I was talking to one of our health professionals, and she's a Hispanic health professional, and she's ready to tear it up. And I was talking to her sponsor, Brian, when we were talking, I said, Brian, let's make sure that we're prepared to handle the referrals that come in. So for the health professionals, you really need to understand the importance of helping your nutraMetrix consultant by making sure that you recommend some quality people that you feel comfortable in sharing referrals to.
Yeah, I agree with you, absolutely. And that's where the challenge does come in. So let's talk about the challenge, our nutraMetrix challenge. It always is on the basic 5, which all the university majors still go around our Market America basic 5. So it's always about retailing. It's always about attitude. It's always about, doing the action and duplicating and following.
You bring up a huge point there. To me, challenges are essential to push yourself to bring out your human potential. And so many of us never get to that point because we don't dare to get out of our comfort zone. So as I said at the challenge reception, that if somebody challenges to do something, okay, and you're not sure you can do it, say yes anyway, panic a little bit, deep breath, then figure out how you're going to make it happen. Because until you get to that phase, it's just not going to happen for you. But Rebecca Moorhead, who won the nutraMetrix Consultant of the Year, what was most pleasant to see in her annual effort was the combination of health professionals sponsored and the number, I think it was 8 unfranchised owners who were sponsored during that year. So that's a beautiful blend.
And we look at that too. A lot of people will say to me, Sarah, I'm so sorry I haven't been with nutraMetrix. But then I see that they won the TLS challenge, or I see that they've built their business, or hit Master UFO that quarter. And I'm like, we're supporting you, building your business. I will support you build your business. I will support you build your nutraMetrix account. I'll help you with your consultants. I'll help you with your TLS coaches. We're all just, I was just posting in the group who saw me about the new skincare products. Like, let's go and build those too.
I am so excited on I just want to go another direction here.
It's just tangents.
The Thimonol and the Cannabiquin I think are going to be great products for our health professionals. How do you feel about that?
Oh yeah, I have been texting my current and my potential ones, and everyone is like, love this. I've booked meetings. I booked meetings before I came here, and it has been huge. You guys know my background's in pharmaceutical sales. I do love technology, and especially with this cap and cap multi-release technology, I can't wait to have something that you can have a whole conversation around that's new.
You almost want to buy a bottle of Thimonol and walk around with a capsule in your pocket and say, hey, look at this is so cool, you know. But I think about how we can help people. I mean, here's another level of education. The standardization of the extracts that are in there, and that's really the big difference in the Thymoquin, and that we work with our pycnogenol, and even with the cannabis,
full spectrum hemp.
Right, full spectrum hemp. I keep thinking of smoking pot every time we start talking about that. But college days, totally. But at this point, you know, you go through that. It's the consistency of the product that we're delivering that a health professional can feel so good, and as an unfranchised owner, you can feel so good about.
And so for anyone who is new, what we do is we usually go to our business presentation slides and pull out the quality control. If you guys haven't yet, I suggest tomorrow book a time and go tour the corporate office to be able to go through the quality control suite and where they are, and to see it and to say, you know, I've been in Dr. Mark Lang's office. I know what that looks like. I've, you know, often emailed with ps@marketamerica.com. I love their answers, their response, their support with us. We make sure quality and quality control is of the utmost importance. Just like our health professionals, I think of my dad, you know, with, you know, he always said, like, he works so hard for his reputation. You know, I think of everyone's reputation, and so does Market America, and that's why we only find the best.
Right, and kudos to Dr. Lang in his efforts. I get highly frustrated because I basically am responsible for the sales. And when I get told that we're currently not available, and it's because of a lot came in inconsistently, I have a frustration, but I'm grateful because we don't want to put an inferior product in your hands, because you're the most important thing to this company. It's the people power. JR talks about it.
I liked when Mark Ashley kicked off the event with his bit on quality control. So we'll definitely chop that up and stick that on social media for you. Give it up if you guys liked that. Our nutraMetrix challenge winners to our panel.
I want to hear
so
about
come on
that.
up.
Yes.
So, and then Beth, we'll get you after. So yeah, we're gonna do Tina Rose, Kathy Bair, Laura Bateman, Nicole Aguade.
Is there a secret?
Yes, there is a secret.
Okay.
Dennis, how about you start by asking Kathy a question?
Okay, I can do that. Well, first of all, Kathy Bair from Orange County, California, the amazing college town of Fullerton. I know because she's one of my Go Now on franchise owners, and I'm so proud of her. Why did you get out of your comfort zone and say, I'm going to do this challenge?
I think the biggest reason that I did it was to grow. Because we don't grow if we don't step outside and challenge ourselves. And I know I say this in the GMTSS meetings that I work with, even with my team. I encourage you to go for the challenge, because even if you don't hit all the benchmarks, the growth that you get from doing the basic 5 is going to spur you forward, and you're going to hit these tipping points where you're doing it, your team is doing it, and just go for it.
Tell me, I have to ask you this, what was the hardest part of the challenge for you?
Doing the live and within the group.
That was the hardest part.
Doing the live?
Yeah.
Beautiful Kathy Bair.
I think I did it like 48 hours before
You
the end of
did.
the challenge. Because I was just like, oh. Yeah, I think that was the most difficult part.
Well, I do want to say one thing. For those of you that's never been to the Chairman's Challenge, it's a very beautiful environment the night before we start, and it is for the people that have met that challenge. And so I don't take it lightly, because in life it's always full of challenges and choices. And again, I'm going to encourage everyone, you really need to make these challenges maybe not for you, but how about for your team? How about for representing you as a leader to get people to follow?
Wait, she's got a little team over there. Team Kathy Bair. Yeah. They're next. I'm looking to them next, Kathy.
I'm gonna pass it back to you.
Yeah, I got it. I'm gonna go to Laura Bateman because Laura and I have worked together, and I know, Laura, that you had a lot of success. Like me, you also have family who are health providers. You kind of hit the ground running, and then said, okay, well, now I got to refine implementation. And so, a lot of these challenge winners have all been in accountability groups with me. So I always find things that are easy that I see that accountability groups can do, but also challenging. So let's talk to also, like, what was the most challenging part? What did you decide to do first?
What to do first? So first, Sarah said, get the easy stuff done. And so I went over and I bought my 3 tickets. She said, that's your first step. Take the first step and say that I have this intention of going for the challenge. But when I think about some of the difficult stuff, and I had some people ask me questions like, how did you sell 10 bundles? Right, everybody thought that would be hard. Have a conversation with the practitioners and just say, I want to be sure that these are products that you can stand behind. I want you to use them yourself. Which bundle would you like to start with? And they don't all buy the bundle. I asked the question, they didn't all buy it. But some bought OPC3, and then the next time they said, let's talk about those bundles. So just have that conversation.
I want to just put a plug in there. That is so good. It was a little scary when you first started that conversation, right? Because their expectations, well, this is going to be free, and we don't always want to give things away free. But I want to just jump back and say congratulations for buying the tickets. And if you didn't buy your tickets to World Conference, don't throw away that 75 IBV that ends tomorrow night at midnight, because that's a big help in moving your business forward and meeting the shopping annuity master member. I had to take that plug. That was a great place for a commercial
break. There.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dennis, Tina has a very thriving health professional business. No, but I want to ask you, Dan, what would you want to know why a health professional, she was health professional the year last year.
Yes, I know Tina. She's a superhero.
What would you want to know from her about building her business?
By the way. There's no doubt in my mind, when we think of Tina, we think of the exception because she has so much more than just being a health professional. She has this great caring for people, which really makes a difference. But you embraced nutraMetrix. You've started to grow tremendously. I mean, why? Why did it all happen this way?
Well, the challenge. I started going for the challenges, and this was my 4th challenge. I had 3 in a row, and in Miami this year, I didn't hit the challenge. That hurt. That really hurt. I had 3 in a row, and I said I'm going to go for every single one. After that, I'm actually going to go for the chairman's reception. I've got a challenge. Got to do it.
You heard it here, people.
That is recorded and live now.
I was going to tell you that, but
just remember what I said. Just jump in. Don't worry about it. Panic and then figure out how to do it. Okay?
Face the fear and do it anyway. And I've seen how much it's helped me grow in my practice, and it's helped my practice survive. I've seen my team members that are here and how it's helped them, and we're still growing all over the country.
Right.
And so the challenge this time was really hard.
I have to tell you, you know what? You said something. You're a health professional that's pretty stationary in an office. Mm-hmm. Isn't it cool that you can actually earn from other places around the country?
Building in different areas, a building in Charleston, South Carolina. Woohoo! Team Low Country. And I'm going to be building in Tampa, Florida. And so, but the challenge was really hard.
It was. That's why it's a challenge.
It was a true challenge.
That's why it's a challenge.
And I did have to come out of my comfort zone and really challenge myself. But I loved that it really improved my sales. It really got me to look at the gene snips. And I love the gene snips, and I've been doing the gene snips. So for the bundles, I went back and looked at all the gene snips I had done for my clients, my patients, over the past year, and said, all right, I'm going to redo it. And brought them back in and said, look, this is where you fall, and that's how I sold my bundles, and I did my own. I had 100% of the gut guard.
Hey, I want to say one thing to you. she sold bundles. Did everybody hear that? I'm also a nutraMetrix consultant. Love nutraMetrix. Has anybody ever got this response from a health professional? Says, but if I would handle a product like that, I'd have to sell. And, health professionals shouldn't sell to their patients. So, what would you say to a health professional who says I shouldn't be selling?
I'm not selling anything to my patients. I'm sharing and I'm helping them. I'm sharing the knowledge, and they're asking me, well, what do you recommend? Well, you have choices. This is what I use and this is what I recommend because I've seen the results. If you choose to get it elsewhere, here's what I'll tell you to look for. Good luck, and let me know if you find it.
And that's really important, and you all have to be comfortable in conversing when a health professional says that, because you'll be surprised if you're calm and comfortable in having the discussion, so will they become. But we can always say, if you feel uncomfortable, let's let your patients know that you are making a profit on any daily essential or supplement that you're
And we have a commission disclosure statement right in our downloads, because we encourage people, go ahead and do that, because just like I said, reputation's really important. And that's the standard, I think, in the industry. So, put up a sign, put it on your intake form, whatever you're comfortable with. That's what most of my practices do. I thank you for bringing that up. I don't think that enough people know about that. Yes. So I want to move to Nicole. Nicole lives right in, the heart of, or right outside of New York City, but it is New York City. And so it's very, it's very interesting. So I do have 2 health providers who won the challenge and 2 teachers. And what I really love about Nicole is how she weaves it in, because, this is a lot like in the city of Manhattan and going throughout her day, but she's busy. But what was easy about the challenge, because you're just building like in your neighborhood. What was easy about it? Oh, I'm good. Thank you, guys. I know you're so nervous. Thank you. You're taller. What was easy about it, and what did you find challenging about the challenge?
Okay, just like you, Kathy, the difficult part was that video, because I do not like to do anything live. However, what was more difficult was the bundles. That was really difficult, because it was easier to at least present one product than it was to present an array. But then I decided that the easy thing for me to do was be me and keep it simple. So I decided, you know what? You like to build relationships, so let's do that. So that's what I aimed at doing. So it didn't matter if they were a health professional or not. I just went with the approach of, let me get to know you, let me get to see who you know, and just, by the way, would you happen to know a health professional? And that's sort of how I started. So I started with nurses, I started with focusing on the education, and then from that I have more referrals. So actually I have people I can go back to now, but really building the relationships from this was the best part.
I expect the momentum to continue, and I know we've worked right together. And that's the other thing, Dennis, is all 4 of these women, I text with them almost every single week. Like, I expect them to win the challenge. Oh. There's a lot of people out there that I've looked at. I have names in my head of who should be a challenge winner, even come Miami as well.
Well, I think everybody here can be a challenge winner.
Absolutely.
But I want to go back to Nicole about the relationships. You bring up a very big point in professionally selling. If you have the relationship, you have conversations that will bring things up. So maybe synergy comes up and how products complement one another. So again, it puts you in the game that so many people don't get off the sidelines. Tell me one thing, how'd you overcome your fear to go into the bundles and do that? Did you have a fear of it?
Oh, absolutely. Here's the thing, I said, I have to change something. I have to make a difference. And I told Sarah, I said, look, I have to do something that's different. And if getting this challenge, I think it was the last week, I texted Laura and I said, oh my goodness, these bundles, they're still here. So that was the biggest part. So I decided to make that change.
I'm so happy you looked around and saw the bundles and said, they're still here. Okay. Did anybody ever have that feeling? Did you ever say, I bought 6 of these, where was I? But that's when you start getting good at this. You got to push yourself into those things. Nicole, that's great.
Thank you.
And Manhattan is not the easiest place in the world to sell.
If you can make it there, you can make it anywhere. want to just give them a round of applause and then just take a couple more minutes for Beth to come up. So thank you guys. Yeah, clap for the challenge winners. Clap if you're going to be a challenge winner. Clap for Dennis Franks, who made an appearance. I'm sure he'll sign a ticket too over there if you bring one to him. He's the best. So the name of this was also nutraMetrix Success Made Simple. So I want to introduce you to Beth Black and her story. And Beth is not new to the division, but you just moved to a brand new area. Can you tell me where you moved to? What was the timeline of you moving?
Well, I went to the nutraMetrix convention in Virginia the end of March.
In March.
I moved to Jacksonville, Florida in the middle of April. And when we went there, I decided I had to figure out how to implement this pretty quickly.
Okay. And so what did you do?
I honestly went on Facebook and I found local communities and I started just joining local community pages. And in there saw people posting things and I found people who were into fitness, wellness, health, and I started just liking what they said and then I messaged them.
And did you message someone and ask for a referral, or did you message directly a health professional? I don't remember the one that we're thinking of. No, so
I messaged a fitness professional, and I said, I am new to the community. I'm looking to meet like-minded people in the health community because we build healthier communities by working together with other health professionals, and I would love to just meet you.
And you met?
And we met, and when we met, he emailed me back, or messaged me back, and he said, well, I sell such and such, is that going to be a conflict? And I went, I don't see that as a conflict. Well, I don't
meeting?
I don't understand why that would influence our meeting.
Yeah.
And he said, well, what are you selling? I said, I'm not selling anything. I'm looking to meet like-minded people in the community. And he said, great, I'd love to meet with you.
And then he led you to the health professional?
Yes, well, we met with him. My husband went with me. We met with him for probably a half hour. And he said, you have got to meet Dr. So-and-so, my friend.
And you said, what a coincidence.
And
I needed to meet Dr. So-and-so, your friend.
We said, thank you, that's very kind of you. Would you like to go with us? And he said, oh no, he's right across the road here. You need to go meet him on your own.
And that was your discovery meeting?
That was our discovery meeting that we asked for 15 minutes.
Yeah. Still in April? Are we still in April? Or did we move into
I believe
more
at
like
this
May?
point, no, we were in May at this point.
In May, okay.
So all of this happened in May. I contacted him in April, but nothing happened until May.
Okay, all right.
We were gone for 3 weeks moving.
Right, so you moved. You were busy.
We moved from
Is anyone
a
else
different
busy? Anyone else busy? Okay, all right. So we can do this busy, right?
Very busy.
All right. So then we met. We did the discovery meeting, and what did that move right into?
The discovery meeting that was 15 minutes moved into an hour, and I kept saying, we were only here for 15 minutes. I know you're busy. We got to go. And he said, no, you can't go yet. I have more questions.
Has anyone else been held hostage by a health professional? Yes. And then you booked the proposal from there.
We booked the proposal. We went in with the proposal, and in the proposal meeting that we booked a half hour, it turned into 2.
Okay.
And it was just tons of questions. And then he said, you need to come do one of these wellness seminars you're telling me about, and you need to come do that with us because we're having our yearly event, our open house coming up next Saturday, and you should really be there for that with all of these isotonics.
Was that in May or was that in June?
That was in May.
Still in May. Okay, so you went and you actually did an event in the office.
We did an event.
And patients were excited and wanted product, right?
Patients and family.
And then you turned to him and said, who's going to sell this?
Well, we actually turned to him and said, he already said he was selling it.
Oh. But he didn't have an account
he had
when you
no
did this
account
event.
At this point. So we looked at this, that this would be his kickoff for his account.
Right.
And so we said to him, you now have interest in these products. And he said, you talked about a wellness seminar. Could we do that too? And we said, absolutely. And we booked the wellness seminar 2 weeks later, which I believe was in June. And we did the wellness seminar. And from the wellness seminar, it turned into an account.
Awesome. That was it was 6 weeks.
6 weeks.
Right? 6 weeks.
6 weeks, 6 custom cocktails to onboard.
Would anyone else like that? Yeah. And what did it just start with? It started with, I call it my Girl Scout cookie approach. If you've been to any of my trainings, when I sold Girl Scout cookies, I called up all of my aunts and uncles, family members and friends and said, can you help me? Right? That's it. 4 words. Can you help me? And that's what you said.
I just want to say this. I've been in nutraMetrix since the very beginning. Kind of took a little hiatus and built the other pieces of the business because I was moving around a lot. And when we decided we were moving back to Florida, we decided we wanted to get back involved in nutraMetrix. I went to training. I was scared. It's like getting back out there again. I was nervous. I took your Girl Scout approach and said there's no reason I have to overthink this, and just got out there and started making contacts. I've made other contacts that have said, no, I'm not willing to meet with you. So what? So I can't wait to get back to Florida again to make another contact, and we actually have an event next week with the doctor's office again.
Give that a round of applause right there. That's just how simple it can be. We overthink this. We think it's going to take up too much time. We think it's going to take too long. And look at this, 6 custom cocktails. How many of us have met with, 6 times, 7 times with some people, and then it results in nothing? But it's when you're asking the right people the right questions. That's really what happens. Preparation. So luck is when preparation meets opportunity. So I would say that Beth's a very lucky person, that she prepared and that she put herself in, a position to have an opportunity, for sure. What would you say to someone who's, thinking about going to a training for the first time?
Go to the training, because honestly, I took that guide, and no different than a lot of teachers do. I come from a family of teachers. I was one step ahead of the doctor. I went home, I read the discovery meeting. I read it. I went to the appointment. I came home from the appointment, I read the proposal meeting and read it, made the proposal, went back to the meeting. I was one step ahead of him, scared to death. I sweated through every piece of clothing I had on at every meeting we went to. But when it turned into an account and new family members to us, because we've really gotten to know their whole family, it's become so simple and so easy and so comfortable.
I'm so proud of you, Beth. I've been watching, and the accountability in the Facebook group, and every time she had this meeting, she posted, and she didn't know where it was going to go. She didn't know if it was going to move forward or if it was going to end, but it didn't matter. She just posted, and we all cheered for you, and we were rooting for you. And when I saw that account opened, and I looked back and saw that you had started only 6 weeks before, I said, we have got to tell more people. This can move quickly if you just take action. So I hope you network with not just Beth Black, but also the nutraMetrix Challenge winners, with some of the trainers that I see there in the audience. And again, just thank you so much. Thank you to you guys, too, for all of our lunch panels at this event.
Thank you.